Hey, what's up everyone? Thanks for stopping in again with Sky High Reef. This week I just wanted to bring to you some in-tank product reviews of systems that I'm using on this budget build and just really what I think after a full quarter of usage, so enjoy it. So the first product I'm really going to start talking about is the Reef Octopus 110 Super Slim Skimmer. So far for me, I love this skimmer. It works really well. I haven't had any real issues with it. I had about a 2 to 3 week break-in period, but the tank was still a new system, so as to be expected, it wasn't really pulling as much nutrients out. It did have a slight whine to it coming through the air intake, but once that slime coat, I'm assuming, built up inside of it, I no longer have that issue, and it's actually dead silent. My filter socks are louder than this skimmer, so it works really well. It does create a good foam. It does get clogged from time to time with the JEBAO, so maybe a guard in front of it if you have it in a refugium. But overall, it does work well. I haven't had any issues aside from the top cup is a little hard to get off based off of the shape. It doesn't have any handles or anything like that, so you kind of have to hold the base and twist off the top. So it's more of an inconvenience as opposed to something that prevents it from working well. But I would definitely recommend this skimmer. It's for the $200 range skimmer. It's a really good skimmer for a big tank. It has a really good pump on it. It doesn't create any noise. The needle well works really well. It doesn't get clogged. It produces a lot of bubbles inside of this tank. You adjust the flow from a large cylinder on the side of it that I painted black. In hindsight, I would have left it red. Just throwing that out there. But you turn that knob and you adjust the air intake to get those bubbles that you see coming up at the top. You want to have that water line right where the cup starts, and that'll give you a good foam, wet but dry skimming. You still get that, not that super dark color, but that more of that green color. So that way it's still a little wet and you're pulling out a lot more nutrients out of the system. The super slim design works really well. I could fit multiple things inside of this sump. Because of how small the skimmer is, it isn't super wide, so I really like that cylinder shape and was one of the reasons I bought it. So far I'll give the skimmer probably an 8 out of 10 out of 4 months of use. I've only had to clean it the once, so I really like it and I would recommend it for anyone else getting it. So the next product we're going to talk about is a JEBAO CP 150. This was $115 Amazon Gyre pump. The more expensive version of this would be the max spec, I would believe 350, the largest one that they have. This thing pushes 5,000 to 7,000 gallons per hour. A lot of reviews say it's super hard to clean, it's super hard to take apart, they don't work over time, and I just think that's because of the price point. A lot of people see $115 and they automatically think of an Ecotech pump and wonder why that pump's $500 in comparison to this $100 pump. This pump works perfectly fine. It has the fin so I can direct flow. I can move each side independently up and down to really create some different wave patterns inside of the tank, a lot of cross flow action. So I really like it, and for a budget build, I think it was one of the best buys that I made for the tank. Now, as far as it pushing 5,000 to 7,000 gallons per hour, being that that's really the selling point in an SPS Reef, you want to have that super high flow. I think for $115, there's nothing I could have gotten better. If I added another one of these things to the tank, the sand and everything would just be all over the place. So it's definitely worth it. In comparison to purchasing something like an MP60 or 2 MP40s to get that same gallon per hour, you're talking about well over $1,000 out of a $115 pump. So would there be some downsides if you don't have as much flow? Of course. But I still believe I'm pushing in the 5,000 range. The tank is 48 inches long and it creates a standing wave all the way across the tank, so much so that I have to put it a lot lower and turn it down because it can push water right out of the system. So I'm really happy with this buy as far as a budget is concerned. Now, a lot of the complaints is it's super hard to take apart, people break them. For me, it literally has about 4 pieces. You have your cage, the fin is connected to the cage, your inner impeller, it has a bushing on top of that, and that's it. And then you have your motor unit that you see me cleaning, and everything snaps in and snaps off. The bushings have a fitting to it so that way you can't put it the wrong way. There's no way you can break this unless you're just truly being negligent while doing it. Just take it easy and take care of it. It is a $100 pump, so be easy with it. All of the JEBAO products that I've used over the years have absolutely worked without fail, no issues. I wouldn't have an issue purchasing another one at any time. It works really well. It is a large pump for a large system. They do have the CP 120, the 90, and I believe a 75. And you're talking about all of these pumps are less than $100, and you're gonna get thousands of gallons per hour flow. And it's a gyre, and it has fins, and they can move independently. I can change them, the actual impellers inside, to create that backflow if I wanted to create a different type of gyre action. For me, I run it in current mode, which is totally random. It does have the standing wave mode, it does have the on and off mode, it has the constant flow. For me, I like the random, you know, where it's pushing 100, 80, 70, 30, 20, and just creating a good flow across my long tank. It is 48 inches, so it is a lot of water to move, and it is going to be an SPS Reef, but this is a definite buy. I would get these any day of the week, all over again. I would give this a 9 out of 10. The only reason I wouldn't give it that 10 mark is because it is a Chinese $100 pump that could break down on me at any moment. But so far I love it. So the last item I wanted to show you guys is the Ice Cap 1K Gyre. Online there's a lot of mixed reviews on this pump, but for me, absolute 10 out of 10. I've never had an issue with this pump in 2 years of usage. In my Nano I ran it at 100% and never had an issue with any of the corals. Eventually your sand will level out and find its own base. In my 90-gallon system, it's perfect. I can hide it behind the back wall. I can put it up top, underneath where my return pumps are coming inside. And it's just really, really good pump. Super easy to take apart, super easy to clean, super quiet. I mean, I'm not really sure like how I can explain it, but like I've never had anything go wrong with this pump. I think the controller's awesome. It stays pretty clean for months and months and months at a time. It doesn't grow algae really on it for some strange reason. You get a little bit after maybe 3 or 4 months just on it. I'll show you in the end of this video here. But for the most part, it doesn't grow anything, and it works really well for a gyre pump. Blowing water, doing what it's supposed to do at that $100 price point. Again, you can't really beat it. CoralView did recently come out with the 2K and 4K ice cap gyres, which are Wi-Fi. So eventually I'll get one of those, but for now, man, I love this 1K. I probably wouldn't take it out of the tank. You can see how dirty it is right there. That's after maybe 6 months of not cleaning it. That's nothing at all, and most pumps grow algae on them, so I'm super happy with this. Just overall, the sump and everything in general was a budget build. I'm using an Amazon return pump. I think I paid $80 for it. I have no issues with it at all. I'm using a $40 Amazon Mr. Aquatop media reactor. I've never had an issue with it. I've been running the return pump now for 4 months, and that media reactor for about 2 years now, never had an issue. So I just wanted to show you guys some products that I'm using that can help you save costs and not really break the bank when building a large system. It's not necessary to have the best of everything, but just make sure you buy good products that you know are going to use. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you like and click and subscribe down below.